The CDC moratorium on evictions that protected renters who had lost income due to the COVID-19 pandemic ended on July 31st, 2021. Local activists have been going door to door educating eviction defendants about how to use the moratorium to stay in their homes. A small group gathered outside the Knoxville City-County Building during Knox County Sessions Court on the morning of Tuesday, August 3rd, the first Sessions Court since the end of the moratorium.
I'm here because I believe that housing is a fundamental human right for everyone, regardless of their, socioeconomic status. I'm also, really concerned about folks being evicted, especially during a pandemic where cases are rising.
Why am I here today? Well, I saw this posted on Facebook, and I think housing is a human right, obviously. And, I just moved last weekend. Thankfully, I was able to get a place. And I mean, it's just such a difficult experience and such a difficult thing to do. I wanted to come out and shout about it,
It really doesn't matter what money is changing hands or what deals we make when you're sending in people to remove someone from their home. And that's what we're here to stop. We're here to stop violence.
Morning, everyone. To the Stop the Evictions rally here, the first Tuesday in August, the first session of Eviction Court ever since the eviction moratorium ended. Today there are, I believe, 94 families represented in this building today who are facing eviction. 94 families who will be disrupted. 94 people with children, 94 couples or elderly people who are going to lose their housing. Next week it'll be another 100 plus. And the week after that.
One of the only tools we had to, keep people in homes was the CDC moratorium on evictions, which ended on Saturday. So I think we're already seeing a lot of evictions here in Knoxville. Usually at least 100 per week, and I suspect that's only going to go up now that that tool is kind of ending. So
I had to vacate by the 1st of July, not because I failed to pay rent, never missed a payment, not because I had any disruption in my income, because I didn't, but because my landlord wanted to remodel the house and wanted to raise the rent substantially.
The place I used to live, 12-unit building over in Fountain City. Within the year I lived there were 4, 5 different evictions in this one little building.
But here's the kicker. Before COVID, we were already 10,000 homeless people. What were we doing about that? Nothing. When we have gentrification at our front door, they want to put a baseball stadium that's going to raise property values so high that the current residents won't be able to stay. You talk about eviction court, we ain't seen nothing yet. They're going to wipe out a whole community.
In Knoxville, I think the eviction situation is part of a much bigger problem. The city is being gentrified. Knoxville is waging a war on the working class, as they have been for a really long time now. Nobody can afford their rent. Rent is $1,500 in Knoxville. Working families can't afford that. We're all making $10 an hour. It's ridiculous.
This situation wasn't of our making. They've been pricing people out of their homes for 20 years now. Pushing gentrification, pushing various raises. I mean, they kicked everyone out of 4th and Gill. They've been kicking people off of Magnolia. They've been kicking people out of South Knoxville. They're leaving no one with anywhere else to go. And then at the same time have anti-camping laws, have things that, the intent of this is obviously suffering.
I mean, like I said, I think, depending on who sees this, I think anyone can come up with a difficult circumstance where they might be facing eviction. They might have a medical emergency, they might have a job loss for whatever reason, and while you might not be in that situation now, you never know what could happen. So I would just ask people to have a little bit of empathy for folks that are facing eviction, even though you personally might not be facing that. So
we are facing a housing crisis that's beyond just COVID, that we're facing an issue of people raising rents, of families being priced out of the neighborhoods they grew up in, and of people who face significant disruption.
Just try to put yourself in their shoes. You know, we're not all privileged enough to have, you know, steady jobs and a roof over our heads every night. So
what can we do? If you're facing eviction, you can contact CAC for rental assistance. You can contact CAC for utility assistance. You can contact legal aid to get in touch with legal help that can help you stay in your home. But more than that, what can the city and county do? What they can do is accelerate the rate at which these funds are being distributed to keep people in their homes.
you know, our city officials and county officials, I think, I think we should be doing more to support these folks. There's a lot of rental assistance that's been administered from the federal level, and I know it's not getting out to folks. So I think that folks shouldn't be getting evicted if they've applied for aid and are still waiting for that assistance. And even if they haven't, I don't think they should be getting evicted, especially when we have, all of this money just kind of sitting there that's not getting administered.
I am done begging leadership to do their job. I am done coming to meetings and city council meetings telling these people to their face how they have failed to do their job. The only solution is to vote. Deidre Harper was one of the only candidates who is currently running for city council here. Where was Gwen McKenzie, the vice mayor? Where was Andrew Roberto? Where was Seema? Where was Tommy Smith? Where were these people who are sitting in office right now? Oh, they wasn't here. Exactly. But they sure can show up for a photo op in a heartbeat with the AE soccer team like it's nothing for the championship.
And this city can institute its own moratorium, the way that other places have. Realize that the federal government response is insufficient right now. Realize that it is heartless and inhumane to evict people at any time, and especially during a pandemic.
I've been going door to door for the past year or so, along with many folks here that have been facing evictions here in Knoxville, Knox County. It's been pretty heartbreaking at times talking to folks who've just had, unfortunate life circumstances and are facing eviction. I spoke to one woman a few weeks ago that actually had to give up her baby because she couldn't afford to keep it and she was facing eviction.
Anyway, fuck landlords, that's all I have to say. Thank you.